everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Tiara.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And we are here today to discuss one of our favorite shows, Raising Kanan, which is back for a season 2. And, we have, the very grand pleasure of going up to the premiere party for season 2 of Raising Kanan. And we got to mingle with the cast and hang out, and it was a blast. We had so much fun. In fact, Ron, I think we got some footage, right?
We sure do. And you're going to see it.
Check it out.
Lately it's looking like everything perfect. Out the mud with it, I put the work in. You can find me where that turf is. Pin precision like a surgeon. Bad ones used to curb me. Showing up to the show when the curve split. She know that I'm worth it, I'm finna go up, I'm aerial. I got the hit stash, got a bracelet for impact. Real tricky, quick to flip a pretty penny to a thick stack. Quick stat, think fast and I talk real. I give a fuck about how they feel. Me and Zay just dropped the propane and it sounded like mass appeal. For my dog, I'ma ride to the wheels kill. Got his hand on the hammer, so keep it legit. I've been the man with the blueprint, I won't stop till I own every brick. I used to lay out in the line just to feel the world spin on its axis. Now I got the access and the last laugh, got it off of the passion. I keep it 100 on the dash now that we got our subtraction. Slick talker, I'm a showstopper, you are not solid. Tread cautious, couldn't go a mile in my toe boxes. Stun a shade with the Visine, light it up and bring the vibe in.
So we knew y'all would enjoy having some footage. We want to make sure we got some stuff for y'all to watch from that because we had an amazing time.
Yes,
Shout out to all the cast of Raising Kanan. They were so kind, so gracious. Everybody was just the bomb. Whatever you think they are on TV, they are all that and more in person.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And some of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life, with the exception of the three of us. But,
right. You must be talking about Patina too, because she is stunning. Pictures don't do her justice.
Gorgeous in person.
Right. The TV doesn't do her justice, but the
right
that you just saw, tell me if she ain't gorgeous.
Yeah, so we had a ball, and things kicked off this week. They kind of picked up, did a little recap because it's been a little minute. We had to refresh our memories on what happened last season. But it picks up with Kanan down in Virginia. That's my hood. But Kanan has been sent to Virginia to escape all of the chaos from shooting Detective Howard. And he's getting ready to go back to New York. So Rock is there to pick him up. And I kind of was thinking about it because we know where Kanan's life eventually ends up. And so I was like, dang, I wonder what would happen if he actually would have taken up the offer to stay in Virginia the whole time instead of returning to New York.
He wanted to stay.
Right.
He did want to stay. And he did. He was rethinking things and he wanted to have a different life initially.
Kanan has been a little bit traumatized by this whole ordeal. And he definitely, like you said, had a change of heart on joining the family business.
And he seemed a little squeamish too, as Rock was walking him through the apartment building complex, and they were actually going up, to their office spot or whatever. And he saw all the people in the hallway and stuff. And he looked a little squeamish. And I even started thinking then, particularly after he said to what's her name, Deb?
Deb, yeah.
When he kind of said to her, I really had however he put it, I had a nice time where I really did enjoy staying here. And I thought to myself, maybe that's where he needs to be. And Rock, I even said it last season, this relationship she has with Kanan is a little strange in the sense that she can't see his net worth for her own. And I know she wants the family involved in this business, but it's a cutthroat dog-eat-dog business. And I was happy to see that Kanan had the chance to talk to her. Fox did tell him, you have to talk to your mother. And I'm glad he had that opportunity, Yeah,
he needed to because he realizes he's not cut out for the lifestyle. And then I think he also realizes Rock has stepped her game up. They really have elevated their whole organization. They have everything run in-house through this apartment building. People are fearful of Rock. They was moving out her way as she came through. And she even mentioned that, she has been taking care of things like paying people off so that they keep their mouth shut, and then, making sure they're taken care of financially, and, cleaning up the pissy hallways and all
we
that.
saw
But she really is a boss, and she is respected and feared in those neighborhoods. And so I think Kanan seen that, and he's like, this is not how things were when I left. And you even heard Rock talking about expanding. So this organization ain't getting no smaller.
No.
So yeah, I think he realizes, like, I don't know about all this. I don't know if I'm made for the life.
Yeah, and I think that he also has a new perspective on Rock, period. Because she manipulated him into shooting Detective Howard. So not only is he ambivalent about being in the game, he's ambivalent about her as well. And distrustful. Because she is like, initially she didn't want him in the game. We saw that in first season.
Yeah.
And when he forced his way into the game, it's like now she don't want to let him out. Like she don't want to let nobody out. Like look how she coming down on Lou, which makes me nervous for Lou.
Yes.
It makes me very nervous for him because she's so driven and everything. And I know she believes in family, but part of me is like, would she kill Lou if he stepped out of line? Like I kind of feel like I wouldn't put it past her.
It would.
And they are like Lou. Like last season, them two were thick as thieves. It was like them against Marvin. Now it's like he messing up.
I think Lou would. Lou would really do something for her to harm him. I don't see it that way, but you did mention something that really concerns me. She's so involved with this family thing that, it just seems like with such an involvement, something can slip up. And Lou could be that ticket that does. But, it also concerns me. Rock has way outthought the drug game. To the point that she's beyond corporate level. She way outthought the drug game. My concern is, does she have the soldiers to employ what she's built? Because
that's the problem with her trying to bring on Unique's crew.
Exactly.
And I don't believe that, because they, at the end of the day, they're gonna be loyal to Unique. I don't trust. When she said that about Warrell, I was like, so you think you're gonna flip Warrell, and you already didn't heard, you had your ear to the ground, and Unique is going to come out of jail. So why would he be loyal to you when
Marvin and Lulu said that?
Yeah,
but she was saying something about keeping her enemies close.
Yeah,
and she was like, she didn't want Unique to return home to anything.
And so she wants to bring him in the fold, and that's not going to work because Unique is unique.
Right.
And he can only see what he lost and wants back what he lost. So, and that's what I mean by her corporate mentality. She's built this structure that's so far beyond the game that she's losing a concept of what the game is and trying to run this structure that I just don't think you have the personnel to do. And that's going to be that downfall for her.
And look, Scrap is still a problem because, him and this gambling habit has gotten him caught up and arrested, even though she's warned him to stop. He's still doing it. So he's a little bit of a liability. And then, even as she was talking about bringing in Unique's crew, she's going to overstep Scrap in order to do that, because he's been down, like he lost the eye for them last season. So he has been riding hard for her, and we see in the previews for next week, he is not going to take it well that he's being overlooked to step up, and so that's another thing, like he's a little bit of a liability and his loyalty has not been respected in his perspective. So I think that's another problem where she's going to run into issues in her organization. And then, like she said, Unique is coming home, and he's not just going to lay down. In the previews, he's talking about, I'm not just going to let nobody snatch my blocks away from me.
Absolutely not. And you know what? I saw an interview with Joey Badass, who we got a chance to meet take pictures with at the
He is so cool
reception.
too.
He was cool.
So cool.
But I saw an interview with him, and the interviewer asked him his favorite episode, and he said episode 10, and he said it was action packed. So that leads me to believe that it's gonna be on and popping in the season finale. And he didn't say which way it was gonna go, but I'm like, if that's his favorite episode, I'm wondering if he's gonna get his revenge in the season finale. Like, what does that mean for Rock?
Right, because I think she's been kind of skating a little bit lately. She got off easy last season without much blowback, but she keeps going the way she's going. She gonna ruffle some feathers. So,
and not to jump ahead of you, but I'm a little worried about Detective Howard because of Detective Burke. I think Detective Howard is going about it in a way that I'm not sure how much memory loss he actually has.
I don't believe it for a second.
He don't have memory loss. He's just he don't want to tell them he doesn't want to rap on his son.
Right. And he's and I like the way his plan is playing out, but I'm a little concerned with Detective Burke because
she's busy. She don't have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's just getting in the way. I know she's got a job. Yeah, she to her credit, she feels like she has a job to do. But let the man heal, let the man rest, and let him go about this thing the way he wants to. Because he did say to her, just remember, who's number one.
But you know how cops feel when one of their own gets attacked.
But is it that much for her, or is it just to me?
Well, he's her partner, though.
Yeah, yeah, but like right out the gate, she wanted to talk to him. Coming out of the hospital, she must have, burden him with all these questions and things.
Well, she want to know who shot him because she said they don't have a suspect. They had Unique in jail.
I know,
but they don't have all the evidence now
points to somebody else.
Was not the shooter. So now she's like, do you know something?
But my point is, you already think that he has memory loss. Doctor told you that it was a miracle.
I think she doubts it too, though, because
she has to doubt it. She has to. And then when she saw that
file,
the file,
on his desk, it even brings more suspicion to her. But at least let the man come out of the hospital for a day or two before you break into him like that.
No, we know she's overzealous.
Yeah,
she's been that way since last season.
Right, and it has more to do with
trying to prove herself too.
Right, she wants to move up the ladder too, because you solved that case, and you anywhere but up. So I think it's there's a double conflict that she has here with it, wanting to solve the case, yes, but I also think she thinks it's a feather in her cap. So,
and when Howard went into the office and he was talking with his other colleagues, did you hear the guy mention that they had a CI that they were talking to, and then they kind of panned over to Scrap, and I was like, oh, so he's a CI too?
I hope he ain't no CI. If he is a CI, Rock is gonna deal with him.
He gonna be out of here.
In last season, didn't he have wasn't he I can't remember exactly, and I in my head I see him talking to one of the cops about something that went down, and I'm
no, because he was a straight soldier. They did get locked up. He and Kanan got locked up last season because they got in that fight.
Right.
But he was a soldier.
Yeah.
But you start mistreating your people, then your people will start.
Yeah.
And I was happy to see Symphony this episode too, because I really thought it was a wrap between them. But she did thank him for what he did for Kanan. But his words to her were on point. Like, you think you know your son so well, but you're not really paying attention, to his feelings. And so that goes back to what we were saying. And she did eventually talk to Kanan, like you said, and accept the fact that she was putting him in harm's way.
Yeah, did she really accept that though?
It seemed like she at least acknowledged it, and I think she does.
She didn't accept it. She didn't accept it to him.
Yeah,
she didn't accept it to him, but she then went to Kanan later on in the episode and then tried to get him to coax him to talk. So that let us know that what Symphony said did you know, it did sink in. She just ain't fess up to it to him.
But so she, at the end of the episode, she ends up going to meet up with Detective Howard in the park. And then in the previews for next week, you know, Kanan is asking, you know, like, what's up, Mom? What's wrong? And she's like, oh, it's just that cop or something like. And that's why I was like, I think she's still manipulating.
I think so too. And I was surprised, like Howard does not need to meet with her because he know that she put Kanan up to shooting him. There's no way that I would meet with her by myself again.
I couldn't even.
Right.
Because you can't trust her. So
Right.
I was like, the fact that he went to meet her, I was just like,
Yeah, I couldn't fathom that at all. It just didn't make common sense, knowing how ruthless she is, and that she wanted him out of the picture. And we know why she wants him out of the picture, because she doesn't want Kanan to know who he is.
that is
Right.
Right.
That impacts her street credibility.
Okay. And she's probably just as afraid of what it might do to Kanan in terms of his way of thinking, because we've already.
Oh yeah. So she manipulated him.
Yeah. And we already see him doubting the game. Can you imagine he finding out that his dad is a cop?
And you manipulated me to try to kill him, my own father? Like that.
Yep.
That's
something
else.
else.
Is going to be the deal breaker for him when he finds that out. And I definitely think he's finding that out this season.
I agree.
I mean, that would be an episode and a half, because the fact that you kept my father from me, then you had me go out and shoot my father.
Yes. What if he had succeeded?
Right.
You know, so
that's tough. So I don't know. The family tension is just so thick, because even Jukebox and Marvin still got beef, which I don't blame Jukebox, because the way Marvin choked her up last season, he need all that anger management they trying to get on him.
Marvin, you gotta come off your game, man. I mean, you tried to kill your own daughter by choking her to death, damn near to death.
That she spit on him. And I'm not saying he was right. He was right. I mean, that was terrible. But I think he just blacked out when she spit on him.
I'm sure he did, but you blacked out on your daughter to the point you almost killed her. But you got to give her some room, man. And if you're going to talk to your daughter about something like that, it would seem to me, rather than you talking to her like, you know, we're old friends and buddies, if it were me, I would come out and say, look, first, I'm sorry for what I did to you. You know, I reacted to something that you did that is as vulgar and vile as a person can do. You spit on me, and I blacked out. You know, but I hope we can get through this. Just put that in her head. Let her think, you know, let her see that, you know, it wasn't all me. You precipitated what happened by your actions. So but you know, to pretend like, hey, you know.
Yeah, he tried to skate past it, but I was thinking about also it's time they living in, because we talking about back in the 80s, early 90s maybe. And so a lot of people mention that toxic masculinity of that time. And even you can hear it with Marvin talking about Kanan getting bit by the jellyfish and crying and calling home. And he was like, you supposed to be representing this family. You can't be down there crying and stuff. And then he was talking to I think he mentioned again something else. He was just being like, it was just that macho kind of like manly, like you got to be a certain way. And I think that's why he can't be accountable for what he did to Jukebox, because he is so like in his macho kind of mindset that it's like, I can't accept that. I can't own up to my mistakes. I'm just gonna try to skate past it and hope you accept that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Marvin, that was just stupid. First of all, you've never been bit by a jellyfish. You can't even swim. We know you ain't in that water. And then to think that if you think you can withstand 50 bee stings, you know, you still talking about, well, you got to man up, bull. You You know what? That was just all lip. That was lip.
Yeah, it was. He's just running his mouth.
He just running his mouth. This boy can't even talk about getting on a surfboard, and he can't even swim. You got to swim out first with the surfboard. You know, so yeah.
Well, I appreciate the fact that Rock is holding Jukebox down, and she's been kind of like the surrogate mother in Jukebox life.
Yeah,
clearly she's been staying there the past 3 months as opposed to in the house with Marvin.
And you see, she's even getting a little curious about her mother, finding the old pictures.
Yeah,
And then in the previews for next week, she's talking to Rock about her mother and stuff like that, which leads me to believe that Latoya Luckett, so we know she's going to be playing her mother this season. And Rock said, being a mother isn't easy. And so I kind of think that whatever happened with them, like maybe the mom had to like pick up and leave, or I think Jukebox might feel a little bit abandoned by her mother. So maybe that's why there's like that sense of like, I don't really know what's going on with her. I don't really know my mom like that. Because in that picture, she was a little like baby. And maybe she got left early on. So I'm interested to see how that relationship plays out. And of course, I'm always happy to see Latoya Luckett on the screen because she is the bomb. The other thing I was gonna mention with Jukebox is that she's still struggling with her feelings for Nicole because of her death last season, so she's still going through it. And I want to see what happens with Jukebox this season and how she's able to channel that energy into like her music and stuff, because we've seen her working on the music. And her and Lulu's relationship is going to be a problem too, because Lulu is still helping other people out ahead of her.
That's a problem.
She's clearly talented, but he keeps overlooking her.
Except that this girl Zizi or Zizi,
Ziza.
That girl can sing.
She can sing.
And so can Jukebox, though.
Right, but I think she has the total package. Like she has the look and everything, and I think that sex appeal is something that comes off to they talked about marketing. They were saying like that's the reason why Famous failed. And I think that the new chick, she's somebody that they can easily market, whereas Jukebox might be a little rough around the edges. She
Lulu
still has
to get with that chick. That song she was singing was directly to Lulu, because Jessica is a trick.
Jessica's a mess.
Jessica's a trick. She need to be on the hands list.
Yeah, she got to be on the hands list. She's gonna be on somebody else's list too when Lulu finds out.
Yeah, because she's a trip, and I see he has a type.
Yes,
Lulu has a type.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, because Crown Camacho really wasn't all of that. Like he was hyping himself up to be the man, but we know that he was really financially irresponsible. And so the fact that he's talking about putting Jess on and getting her a job out in LA managing talent, she should probably be thinking that's a load of crap. And then the fact that she would cheat on Lulu with this dude who is kind of under Lulu. So it's like you downgrading.
I swear I didn't see that coming.
Me either.
Listen, I thought so. I thought last season it was looking sus, with him. I just think she's so opportunistic that she's gonna move on to anyone. Like what's it called is over there selling her a dream, and she trying to push Famous, and she feels like Lou is not doing enough to get behind Famous. But Lou said some things that were valid about Famous work ethic.
It's working.
He just getting high all the time and stuff. But I did wonder though, because Streets Need a Body was a hot song. It was hot. It was in the street. So I was wondering why they didn't put more money behind that single.
Maybe there's a one wonder hit. I mean,
I think it's because of what he was saying. Because remember that he was basically ratting Kanan out in that song. Right. It's like I can't be making the block hot by pushing that more.
Right.
That's true. Yep. Right. He does drop $120 and all that in the song. That's true.
Only so much promotion you want to do with that.
Yeah. So I understand.
Jessica's so messy. I mean, if she's just, she's probably as much of the reason that Lou doesn't want to really promote, Famous, because she's all in it. And, that little argument.
He's like, you more into that than being my girl. Like, like he was like, I'm not even getting that type of attention from you.
Right.
When I'm talking to you, you just sound like Famous manager.
And you can feel when somebody's trying to be a leech.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what he's getting. Well, he should have got that a long time ago, but hey.
Yeah. He was sprung though. But did you see how she was looking when Ziza came in?
Yeah.
Look on her face was like
So I mean, that's why I was like, I can't even be mad at him for going at Zisa.
No, I'm not mad.
Because clearly he and Jess are not on the same page. And I was, like you said, I was really shocked to see that she had, started cheating with Crown, because he's not it.
No, but I hope he doesn't do too much with Zisa, because you got to really separate business and pleasure.
You do.
And because
he's not. He's not.
Right.
Okay.
And Rock has already called him out for prioritizing the music stuff over their family business.
Right.
And he's been late several times. He's been, complaining about taking over certain blocks and stuff like that. So that family tension is going.
They won't let him be great. Like he don't really want to be in the game, and they pull on and that part it reminded me of Ghost. Because he's trying to get out the game. He's trying to have a dream, and then other folks.
Well, yeah, but Rock did make a very poignant call here. She said, how much money have you made? And if you ain't making no money, it's a hobby. So he's got to get serious with.
But it takes time to build stuff. Look, we
does.
know that.
It does. But I mean, you had a substantial influx of money to come in, and the point being is you got to go out and find that talent, because a lot of times they're not going to find you when you're small.
You got to find talent. You got to have that's where I think the Omar Dorsey character is coming in, because I think he's going to be a music exec or a record exec or something this season, because you need seasoned professional. You need a team. And it's a lot of money for marketing and all that stuff in the music business and stuff. So that's the part that Rock is right, but at the same time, it takes time to build that stuff. I mean,
but you
it's not overnight.
Yeah, but just don't get the block boys to help you build your dream like that.
Right.
Like I said, that money that you had, that influx of money, you need to start spreading that money out so that people can help you build, and like you said, you need a team that knows what they're doing, not just a team that, inspires to be big. Everybody does, but you got to get those folk behind you that really know what they're doing, because you just jump in.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you can kind of see where things are headed this season with the beefs and stuff, because I think Lulu definitely going to find out about Crown, and it's going to be beef there. I think that with the whole Unique situation and them sending Lulu to manage the block with, the same crew that tried to kill him, that's always going to be a problem. You can't just let stuff like that slide.
I'm afraid for Lou this season on several fronts, because I feel like out of everybody, and it could be Marvin too, but out of everybody, I feel like he's the most vulnerable to me, because he's trying to get out the game and everything. So I feel like with Rock, it could be an issue of him getting out the way, or someone might get him up out the way by the rival game, by Unique in there. I just feel like he might not make it out this season, and I hope I'm wrong, but I feel that way about Lou.
I would hate to see that happen.
Me too. I don't want to see that happen, but this is something that I'm feeling.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I see Marvin probably taking a bullet, and Lou coming out of the game completely because of it. Washing his hands, because he's already 1 foot out anyway.
Oh, he doesn't want to be in it now.
No, he doesn't.
Once he got burnt up, once he saw, remember, he was mad at Rock when he saw that she put Kanan up to shooting the cop.
Right.
Like he was done with her then.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then the fact that the dude Worrell tried to kill him and tried to and everything, and then you trying to bring him in and stuff, yeah, I can see that he's like, and even the words that Jessica said to him last season too was in his ear. Like, she was just like, you got the music stuff. You need to get away from this drug game. Like, you
can't do both. I mean, you can't do both. And
it's a lot of stuff that they're doing is not really sustainable. Like, I know it's only a matter of time before those people in the apartment building where they're staying, you can't maintain that for so long. You can't continue to pay people off but for so long, because their living conditions is like Their living conditions suck. And then you have people that are drugged out, high as heck, roaming through the different apartments and stuff. Like, nobody wants to live like that.
Listen, that's a real thing. The Baisley Park thing. I mean, we saw it depicted in New Jack City, but also the Supreme Team in New York. I mean, that was real. Like, if you watch, it's out now. Nas has a documentary out now. It's 3 parts that's on the Supreme Team and everything. That was their MO and everything. So, you know, Raising Kanan is definitely taking a page out of that book.
Yeah, so I mean, I just don't see it being sustainable though. And it's only a matter of time before the cops is raiding that joint too. They already hot on the block. So
what did you think about Dr. Howard doing that little slow drive-by? Kanan.
He getting intel. You know, he's trying to build his case, which is, I think he really still wants to come out to Kanan and say, like, this is who I am.
Yeah, because he drove by slow and Kanan saw him. So to me, I thought it was like a message to let him know I'm still here.
Yeah,
right. You know, even though Rock tried to reassure him that he doesn't have memory and that he's not going to be a problem, I think Kanan knows better.
He remembered how to get to that house.
Yeah,
he drove by real slow to let him know.
I think it's like one of those things. I know what you did last night, so I'm gonna drive to the house and just so you can see me, because I think that's probably what he's gonna say to Rock the next episode. I think he's gonna bring that up. And, but see, that's what worries me, because anything you say to Rock,
she's gonna act, and that's the thing. She's, you know, she even tried to kill him herself. Like, she might sick Marvin or somebody on him.
Yeah, because Marvin's crazy enough to follow.
Yeah, well, we know Rock got a ruthless side, so yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting though that the anger management class, you know, he figured he can just go sign in, grab a donut, and split, right? And he found out, no, it's not gonna work that way. And
this was like, you better sit down.
Sit your ass down. And you know, and he kind of looked at her. I wouldn't be surprised if
they hook up.
I'm waiting. That's gonna be his new love interest, Renee.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you know, because he liked that kind of little rough.
Yeah, because he's not used to being dealt with like that.
Being dealt with. So he was like,
yeah, she was like,
you can say it. This is comfortable. You know, you can say sit your ass down to Tiff. You know, it's all right.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Marvin is going to get it together this season, because he's always been known as the screw up, and they've given him a lot of trust by putting him in charge of a whole block.
See,
so it seems like he and Rock tried to rebuild some of the trust, but Marvin go Marvin. So I don't know.
And like I said, you know, I love Rock's ideology, her mindset. I mean, how to structure this game. I mean, she is spot on with that. But with all the division in the family, and you want the family to control everything, I just see so many little mistakes that she's making. Because, you know, she said we have to pay attention to the littlest thing, but you're not doing that. You're talking about bringing in people that have a definite vendetta against you and your family, and you want to bring them in whole. You see the rift between your family, and you're really not trying to, you know, resolve those problems. You know, even when Jukebox was in the kitchen with her, and Marvin went in and wanted to kind of talk, and she felt that there was a little rift about to happen, and she just said something, dinner's ready.
She shut it down. She shut it down because it was uncomfortable.
Right.
It was really uncomfortable.
Right, which I get at that particular point in time. But at some point, Rock, you're going to be the one, if it's going to happen, you're going to have to mend these fences, because you're the only middle person that really could talk. You're the only one that can talk to
the Jukebox and Marvin.
Jukebox and Marvin.
She's gonna have to mediate. But I think she felt that, like, the tension with Jukebox, because remember, like, Jukebox is still a child. Yeah. So I think that's why she took the position, like, when she saw that the way Marvin was doing it, and Juke was clearly not ready to have that conversation and stuff. So she's like, no, let me shut it down.
And
so she was protecting Juke in that.
And which is cool. That was a good thing. But she's gonna have to, you know, I just think that before you build this industry the way you're building it, You gotta bring that
Clean
back.
up your own house.
Yeah.
Right. Well, she tried to say at the table, like, regardless of our differences, we're family. Like she said that in her toast. So she was trying to
Yeah, she's
bring
trying.
them together. She's trying, but it's gonna
Yeah.
take time because first of all, they, before Marvin even put hands on Juke, they already had a root. You can tell
Right.
that Juke wasn't rocking with him like that because when he tried to pick her up one day last season, she wouldn't even get in the car with him.
Right.
And she was like, and she specifically said she didn't want to deal drugs because that was something that her father was into. Like she just, anything he was a part of, she wanted no parts of. So they were already estranged before he even put his hands on her. And him putting hands on her was the last straw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a lot to look forward to this season. Definitely with the family, definitely with the beefs in the streets. It's a lot. So I enjoyed the opening episode. I'm so excited that the show is back.
Me too.
Because I think for a lot of people, like this is one of their favorite spinoffs from the
Mine, the Power the OG is the favorite, but out of the Power books, this one because of the era,
it's nostalgic,
the music, the food, and plus the acting and writing is so solid, so solid.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to have Raising Kanan back. I'm looking forward to next week's episode, and I even heard the news that they had already been renewed for season 3.
Wow.
So, they are on the move. I'm so glad to see that this spinoff is doing so well. And it's well deserved because like you said, the cast and crew is phenomenal. So just congratulations to all of them. And to those that we met while we were at the premiere, thank you so much for your kindness and just being awesome and so welcoming. I was over the moon. It was a great experience.
That was awesome. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Come down from that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So do you guys have anything else you want to add before we close out?
I wanted to share a prediction that my son said to me earlier. He said to watch out for, and I think it's a good prediction because he said like the situation with Unique in the jail. The dude that he got into
that vouched for him.
That vouched for him, that he's part of that mob family. And he was like, look out for that connection because now dude probably owes him one or whatever. And that might be his muscle.
Making some alliances.
He can go alliances to go up against Rock.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I think so. That's why I was like, let me mention that on his behalf.
Okay. So who do we have? Anybody for the game ball and the who can get this hands list? I think we already mentioned.
Oh man, yeah, the hands, Jessica,
Camacho, Crown Camacho can get the hands.
Yeah, Crown. Like, who else? Game ball.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a game. I don't know. I have
Symphony.
I was about to say Symphony.
Yeah.
I like Symphony for
the calling it like it is.
Because I like the fact that unless we see otherwise, Symphony seems to be a stand-up dude, and the fact that he and Rock weren't even rocking with each other, and he still picked up the phone, took Kanan out of town, and everything. Rock still loves her. He loves her too. And the fact that not only does he love her, he loves her son. Because he spoke up on his behalf, like, listen, he ain't tell me what's up, but I do know that he's scared.
Yeah.
And, that's solid. Because you do.
Yeah, I don't think it's over for them.
Oh, it ain't over. You can tell how they were both looking back at each other. I was like, oh, it's gonna be on and popping again. I just hope nothing happens to Symphony.
Me too.
Right.
It's a dangerous game.
Yeah. All right. So Symphony got the game ball.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you to everyone for watching. Please make sure you drop down in the comment section and let us know your thoughts on this premiere episode, season 2. Also follow us on social media at The Spot Real Talk. We are on all major social platforms. Give us a follow there so that you can keep up with, when we have roundtables. That's where we, kind of book people to come on as guests, and just keep up with us in general. So do that. And it's so important that I mentioned this, but subscribe. Like that's really an important metric for us. So if you love The Spot Real Talk and you want to show us support, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't checked out any of our previous interviews that we've done, we recently did 2 for P-Valley. We interviewed Gail Bean and also Nico Anand, who played Roulette, and Uncle Clifford on P-Valley. Those were some phenomenal episodes that we have listed. So if you want to go ahead and check out those interviews, please support those.
John
and then
Clarence Stewart too, Big T. We
Yes.
interviewed him as well. For
yeah,
P-Valley.
that's another one.
And with Nico, even if you don't follow P-Valley for whatever reasons you may have, you really need to check out his interview, because he delves deep into some things that you ordinarily just don't hear. And I think you will have a much better appreciation of the show once you heard the interviews, both 1 and 2.
Yeah. Nico is all of that.
Yeah.
So,
That was an awesome interview.
We had a great time. So make sure you check those out as well. And I think on that note, we're going to call it a night. So make sure you are back here next week, same time, same place, to recap episode 2 of Raising Kanan season 2.
Excellent.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you.